What is up, YouTube? Excuse my shitty voice, I've got a cold, but we're finally back with another Corolla video after about 9 months. And as you can see, we're at Wakefield Park. So I actually have both my Corolla and the COROLLA at this drift day today, which is a day put on by Wakefield Park. I really wanted to do a video of the Corolla drifting standard before I did some mods to it, and this is the first opportunity I've had, so that's why I haven't really done many videos on the car yet, because I haven't really changed much on it. The COROLLA also has new knuckles and drifting specific brake pads in it now, so I might put some clips up of that if I manage to get the hang of it today. Now first things first, the title is a little bit clickbaity of this video, and I'll be honest, this Corolla isn't completely stock because it does have this shiny new T-Series diff in it. So it's got a TRD two-way in it, no shitty welded diff here, and then the Cusco sway bar. So if you know anything about AE86s or Corollas, you'll know that T-Series diffs are pretty rare, and this one costs considerably more than the car did, but that's okay because it really brings out, you know, what this chassis is supposed to be. Like, even though it's only got the 4AC and probably 50 horsepower at the rear wheels, it is so much fun to drive even with stock suspension, just having the LSD in there. But drifting it on the track might be a bit of hard work. Now, unfortunately, I was a bit unorganised, so I don't have particularly shitty tyres at the moment. So I'm just running some 175/60s, same front to back with 70 PSI in the rear tyres. But anyway, I'll throw the camera in the car, I'll try to do some commentary. I'm not sure if I'll be able to because my voice is so fucked up, but we'll give it a go. Okay, time to go Corolla-ing. So, stock AE71 Corolla with a TRD two-way. I've taken my jumper off because this is going to be a very physical experience. Alright. It's a bit slower than the COROLLA. So the plan is just to do long track to get comfortable, and then if I feel comfortable then we'll give short a go, I guess. Oh, this is hard. Too early. Come on, Nick. Oh, the understeer. Jesus, the understeer. Hey, don't spin this time, Nick. Smooth. but you didn't drift. That was actually a good lap. Need to clutch it more. Might be as good as I can do through that corner. Try a short course entry, otherwise I'll be living a life of regret, I guess. EG's spinning. EG's going. I did one short course drive through and can't have any regrets.
It's actually been a few weeks since the drift day happened, but I've finally stopped coughing now, so let's continue on with the video. So after drifting the car for the session at Wakefield Park, even though it was fun, I was really underwhelmed with it. And now with the world falling apart and going into lockdown, I've decided that since there's not going to be any track days in the foreseeable future, it's time for me to do the engine upgrade on this car. So I was actually looking to upgrade the engine probably in another 6 to 12 months. I had fun with the stock 4AC driving it around on the road. The car felt pretty fast. You could tell there wasn't much power, but you can also tell the car doesn't weigh much. But out on the track it just didn't really feel quick enough to slide. I'm sure it would have slid if I had some 15-year-old 165 tyres, but unfortunately I don't, and I can't keep finding old second-hand tyres to use on it. I was running the 175s with 70 psi in the back and it still didn't really want to spin a wheel. So I actually have to travel interstate for 4 weeks, and in that time I've decided to give the car to my brother who has a mechanic shop to at least get the engine in there and the cooling system, the fuel system in, and then I'll figure out what's going to happen with the wiring. I probably should have mentioned I already bought a 4AG. It's a big port out of a AE72 Oz spec. I was going to do some mods to it like cams and a TRD head gasket and recondition the head while it's out, but I just don't really have the money to do it at the moment, and not knowing the condition of the bottom end, I think it's better to just put the motor in stock and see what kind of condition it is before just doing the top end and potentially wasting my time if it desperately needs a new bottom end. So I'll be putting the motor in pretty much stock. The only upgrade parts I have are the ones I've got here. So I've grabbed myself a Toda flywheel, 3.7 kilos. That should be a pretty big upgrade. It's about half of the weight of the flywheel that's on it. And yeah, it won't give the car more power per se, but it'll make it feel more fun to drive, that's for sure. And then because I needed an exhaust manifold, I've grabbed the Beam TRG style 4AG headers. So they're a 4-into-1 header, and they're actually made by the same company that made the TRD headers back in the day. So for all intents and purposes, they're TRD headers. I would have actually preferred 4-into-2-into-1 headers with a stock setup, but you can't really go wrong for 360 bucks for the Beam ones. And then later down the track I might go for something a little bit more fancy like the Toda 4-into-2-into-1s, but these will do for now. So one thing I'll say about 4ACs is that they do have enough power to drift, but you shouldn't spend any money on them. So unfortunately this motor, it runs pretty well, but it's not completely perfect, and I don't really want to spend the money on it, because that would mean basically getting an electronic distributor, which I can't really be bothered trying to find one. And I also would need a new alternator pretty soon, as this one's not in very good condition. So my advice would be, if you're running this engine, by all means drift it, but don't really spend money maintaining it, because that money's better spent towards a 4AG. So how I've decided to do the 4AG conversion is as factory as possible. So I've got all new genuine rear-wheel drive water cooling gear. So I'll basically be doing an AE71 engine setup. So it's a bit more expensive doing it this way, but I'm hoping the car it'll help with reliability. I know plenty of people run the front-wheel drive water cooling systems without any problems, but I just sort of wanted it to look as factory as possible, and yeah, I figured by making it, I want to make the car into as much as an AE71 as possible, so that's why we're doing a big port with rear-wheel drive gear on it. I've also purchased some Shockworks coilovers for the car, so I'll be putting them on once I get back as well, so it'll be lowered down and look nice. So now that it has the T-Series TRD two-way LSD in it, it'll have the Shockworks coilovers and a 4AG. There'll pretty much be no more excuses I can make. Like, if I can't drift it with all that stuff, then it's on to me, and I'm really looking forward to giving it a go. I know I haven't really been doing any videos on this car, but that's because I haven't really been able to do anything to it, because I wanted to take it to the track and get a benchmark drifting it around stock, and with the current COVID situation it's very hard to find track days, so that's why there haven't been many video updates. But I'm hoping that I'll be able to post lots of videos of it driving up and me learning how to drift this completely different style of car in the next 6 months. I will still be doing some mods to this engine in the future, so if you have any recommendations on cams and computers and just general tuning for a big port, put it down in the comments below, because yeah, I'd love to hear some experiences on what the best way about it is, because there's a lot of options out there. So that's it for today's video. If you watched it till the end, then thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.